Welcome to an NC Live crash course. This video is a quick introduction to using Social Explorer at your library. To find Social Explorer, we'll start on the NC Live homepage. If you are accessing our resources remotely, don't forget to log in with your library. The easiest way to find Social Explorer is to use the Browse All Databases link and then jump directly to the S section. The first thing that you need to know about Social Explorer is that it provides many ways to visualize demographic data. You do not need to create an account to access the resource, but you do need to create an account if you would like to save your work in the resource. Then you'll reach the home page. Click the plus sign to create a new map, report, or story. To start off, we'll create a map. First, it will ask you for a title and a data source. You can always change the data source and the title. For now, we will choose the U.S. data from the American Community Survey. The map is automatically set to show population density for the United States. You can zoom in on a specific state, then click Auto Adjust to normalize the data as you zoom in or out. Auto Adjust calculates the ranges based on the currently visible part of the map. We'll take a closer look at the data panel now. You can change the geographic level as well as the color scheme of the map. You can also click on the button with the 3 lines for more options. If we just want to create a map that analyzes the population density of North Carolina and no other states, we can select Mask Map Data and change the geography from county to state. Then, when I hover over the map, it highlights the boundary of North Carolina. When I click on NC, it will mask all surrounding states and just focus on North Carolina. I'll click Done to save my mask. I can also click on the calendar icon to change the year of the data source. I can choose Change Over Time as well to see how the population density has changed from 2011 to 2021. Once I do that, I can hover over counties and see how the population density has changed over a decade. Let's say I want to change my data and create a map that analyzes a specific occupation type. I go to Change Data, and I have a few options for finding a new data source. You can go by year and category. Not all data sources are available for each year. But let's say I choose occupation and then select arts, entertainment, and recreation as the occupation type. If it appears that you've lost the legend of the map, find the Social Explorer icon in the bottom right corner, and then click Auto Adjust. For this particular map, we see that Florida has the highest percentage of people who have this occupation type, which makes sense since tourism is a major industry in the state. I can also use the keyword search if I have a data point in mind but not a specific category or source. Let's say we want to see a map of internet access in North Carolina and the percentage of people who don't have an internet connection at home. We are going to use data from 2021 for this because there is only partial data for 2022. As we can see here, counties in eastern North Carolina have high percentages of the population that don't have an internet connection. A third of the population in Northampton, Bertie, and Washington counties don't have an internet connection at home. If I do have a data source in mind, I can go to the section All Data by Source to choose one. In Social Explorer, you have access to the census as far back as 1790. Don't forget to click Auto Adjust as you zoom out. If I change the data from 1790 for the census to 1900, I can see that the bulk of the United States population was still in the Northeast. There is some population density in Illinois and Ohio at that point. Now, let's talk about options for exporting maps from Social Explorer. You can click the image and arrow icon to download the image. To save the project, click Save. If you didn't save the project, it will automatically be called untitled in your projects. You also have several options for sharing. Click on the sharing icon to either get the link to share, add collaborators, or email this map. You can also copy and paste the embed code into a web page or a learning management system. Libraries can also use these maps for strategic planning purposes. You can upload point data, such as library card signups, by going to the hamburger menu and scrolling down to map layers. For this example, we will upload a spreadsheet of all library branches in North Carolina. I'll go to Map Layers and upload this spreadsheet. It's a very simple spreadsheet of street addresses and location names. Now I can see where branches are located and how it is often dependent on population density. Let's switch gears and create a report. These can be used for seeing the breakdown of a particular data point or several data points. The one caveat with creating a report is that you can't add or include a map in a report. Reports are just tables generated from the data source. However, the reports can be a useful tool for comparison because you can add multiple locations or variables to a report. Let's choose the American Community Survey from 2022 and select County as our geography and then North Carolina. I'll select highest educational attainment for population 25 years and over. Then I'll click Create Report. I then have a few options for exporting this report. I can download this table as a spreadsheet or CSV file or as a PDF file. When you click on the I button, you can see a citation for this report that is available in 3 different citation styles. There's one final feature we will cover in Social Explorer. You can create a story, which is essentially a PowerPoint presentation. You can even export this story as a PowerPoint presentation. You also have the ability to copy a pre-made story in Social Explorer. You can do that by going to the Teach and Learn section and finding the data snacks. These are all able to be copied and adapted to your own uses. We'll choose the median household income data snack. In the top right corner, you'll see a button that says Save As, where you can retitle it. Once you do that, it will be saved in your project section. If you click on Edit Project, you can then add more slides to your story and expand on this story if you would like. Let's also cover where you can go for help. On the home page, you can click on the question mark icon to find the Introduction to Maps and the Introduction to Reports. These are step-by-step guides that can help you create maps and reports. You can also visit the Help Center to find answers to frequently asked questions or view more guides and videos for navigating the platform. To navigate back to the home page, click on the Back to Social Explorer button in the top right corner. In the toolbar on the left side of the home page, you can access the Data Dictionary, which offers detailed definitions of all the data points in each survey available in Social Explorer. If you select one source, you can see a description of how data is gathered. Here are the highlights for using Social Explorer. You have demographic data from the census and the American Community Survey at your fingertips. These are 2 major sources in the platform, and they can help you find data not only at the county level, but also at the level of census tracts and block groups within a county. You can upload your own point data to the platform. This allows you to have a layer of custom points on a map. One of the great features of this resource is the ability to export all maps, reports, and stories easily and efficiently. You can export image files of maps or embed them into websites or learning management systems. You can also download Excel files of reports to create custom GIS datasets. And finally, you can export stories as PowerPoint files or PDFs. NC Live has additional training on Social Explorer. You can find links to these resources in the description section below. Thank you for viewing this NC Live crash course. If you are interested in learning more about our resources and skills that are relevant to librarianship, subscribe to the NC Live YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below.